Well, hello everyone. Hi, I'm April Rochelle from Bashar Communications, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you to tonight's event of Contact with Bashar. So I wanted to talk to you all about what Bashar's going to talk about tonight, and he's entitled this session, Parables and Time Crystals. And this is basically about parallel realities and how they intersect with our realities. Because I guess the idea is you can have other parallel realities that'll kind of pop in and out of your reality. It's a very interesting phenomenon. So he'll explain more about that and how it interacts with our reality. So it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the very talented channel for Bashar, Darryl Anka. Okay, so are you all ready for this? Me too. Okay, go for it, Darryl.
Okay.
No, thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you. All right, thank you guys for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. And I will see you later. Have fun. A little sick a day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right, thank you. This transmission has been titled Parables and Time Crystals. First and foremost, what is a time crystal? We are very excited to announce that your society, some of your scientists have finally discovered time crystals. This is something that some of your scientists theorized might exist a few years ago, and more recently there have been some of your experimenters that have discovered that time crystals do in fact exist. What are they? All right. Very simply, a normal crystal has patterns, molecular patterns, atomic structure patterns that repeat and repeat in space, creating the crystalline form. Same pattern over and over and over and over again, creating the crystal. But time crystals repeat in time. What this means is this. Certain aspects of the subatomic structure, when induced to vibrate, when given a charge to vibrate, will start flipping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth at a certain frequency. They are actually changing in time, back and forth. They don't remain in the same configuration as a regular crystal. They change their frequency over and over and over and over and over and over again. And even when the initial energy given to them to make them flip is stopped, they keep flipping. They keep going. They keep resonating through time. To some of your scientists, this is an indication that they are getting energy from somewhere, because it appears as if they're getting energy from nowhere, and yet the flipping continues. The different spin states, as they say, of the subatomic particles continues to flip back and forth at certain frequencies. The idea that they will ultimately discover is that the energy that supplies them and allows them to continue to flip back and forth comes from parallel realities. They are flipping back and forth in different dimensions, different realities. Now, our ships, as we have told you, are a form of crystalline construction. It is a more intricate form of this idea, but our ships are made of time crystals. The fact that time crystals have the capacity to resonate to different frequencies having to do with different parallel dimensions is what allows our ships to transcend space and time and travel in the blink of an eye from one star system to another. Changing the locational frequency of our ships is possible because they are constructed of time crystal material, a much more intricate version than what your scientists are now experimenting with, but they have begun to realize that time crystals can exist in a multitude of forms and can be activated in a multitude of ways. This technology will continue. You will increase and expand your understanding of these crystals in the future as you go, as you understand more and more about them. Now, what does this have to do with parables? Most of you understand the concept of parables as a story that has some kind of a message or a lesson in it that teaches you some idea that might be different than the ideas that were previously held. You tell parables to sort of present a new perspective on things. Since story is the strongest structure by which you retain information, parables, seeking to give you a new perspective, are best told in story form so that you retain the information that contains the idea of a shift or a change. Now, we're going to sort of deconstruct that term parable into the idea that what it actually represents is a parallel probable reality. Parable, parallel probable reality. You're being given a parallel reality idea, something that can be manifested as opposed to what has been manifested. Time crystals getting their energy from parallel dimensions, parallel realities, and parables being representative of parallel probable realities as well, allows them to sort of operate in a way that illuminates something about your reality experience. As we have said, and what we will repeat now in connection to this subject, is you think of your reality as a continuous time stream, unbroken continuity from one moment to the next, to the next, to the next. But your reality is not one real parallel reality. It is constructed of a number, billions of parallel realities, because you don't really jump from one point to another in a time stream, in one reality. You jump to different parallel realities all the time, creating what appears to be or feels like a continuous, unbroken reality. But this jumping back and forth all over the place, flopping, flipping through different parallel reality moments to construct the parallel reality time stream in a continuous way that seems to fit the reality you prefer as an experience, means that you are time crystals too. You contain the actual elements, the actual subatomic element structures that allows you as a physical being to flip through different parallel realities. This is actually a description of the mechanism physically that we have talked about, where your consciousness is shifting through billions of parallel realities every second, creating your apparent continuous time stream reality. It's this particular kind of arrangement of crystalline substance within you that actually allows this physically to occur in your dimension. So you are all living time crystals in a sense. So are we, so is every life form. This is contained within all living things and all matter. Your scientists have labeled time crystals a new form of matter that they didn't know about before. And they are going to discover not only the connection to parallel realities that drive the time crystals and allow them to keep flopping back and forth in frequencies through time, but they're going to discover that time crystals exist in all matter. And they're going to start understanding from that point forward in the years to come how it is your consciousness keys into the idea of parallel realities that exist simultaneously with one another and expresses it through the idea of the linear continuous space-time framework by creating these flipping vibrations within you that allow you physically to alter yourself from reality to reality to reality, version of Earth, version of Earth, version of Earth, version of you, version of you, version of you, billions of times per second. Is this making some sense in your language? All right. So we are describing here the actual physical component of the consciousness mechanism that allows you to experience shifting through billions of parallel realities in physical terms. This gives you, wrapping your mind around this concept that you are always shifting billions of times per second through various parallel realities to create one apparent continuous time stream, can give you freer access, more conscious awareness of the fact that you are always shifting all the time. So focusing on the idea of yourself as a time crystal in that sense, and all matter containing time crystals, will allow you to start to viscerally, over time, physically, with your senses, begin to have a more physical, visceral experience of the shifting that is already going on. Remember, you don't actually ever accelerate the shifting. You become more aware of the rate at which you're already shifting. That makes it seem like an acceleration in space-time terms. But you are shifting at the same rate all the time. It's just that you can be more aware of it. And by being more aware of it and incorporating that awareness into your reality in an everyday way, you can experience more conscious control over the idea of exactly how you navigate those shifts more and more in the direction of the reality that you prefer, of the experience of navigating through all those different dimensional realities in a way that you prefer, so that you can constantly keep shifting to versions of Earth and versions of yourself that are more and more and more and more and more and more representative of your greater being, who you truly prefer to be, who you truly are. Make sense? So, even though some of this may be a little esoteric at the moment, that's all right. Just the deliverance of the information in this form will sink into you in a new way to give you more awareness, more conscious control of the fact that you are shifting billions of times a second right now, even in the course of this conversation. Continuity is an illusion, but it's an illusion you can create and have created to make it seem as if you are simply constantly in one reality, which you never, ever are. You are simultaneously shifting through the simultaneous parallel realities that simultaneously coexist to infinity. That is your nature. And awareness of time crystals and parables, stories that you tell yourself about who you are, definitions that are more harmoniously aligned with who you prefer to be and the reality you prefer to experience, will amplify and magnify your ability to sense the shifting that is already going on in a way as to make you feel like you're accelerating in your physical reality. That illusion is created by getting closer in your frequency to the frequency of the shift, so that it seems as if, paradoxically, the more you live in the single moment, the faster things appear to go, because you're catching up to the frequency more of the shifting frequency of physical reality. Similar to when you have a strobe light and you have a stream of water. When you flash the strobe light at a specific frequency, the stream of water no longer seems to be a stream, but individual droplets moving slower and slower and slower until you hit the frequency of the moving water in such a way that what you then appear to see is a single droplet suspended in time and space. It appears to not be moving anymore because you've caught up to the frequency of the falling water. Similarly, when you arrive closer to the frequency, the shifting frequency of physical reality, it appears in a sense to slow down, but it actually also feels simultaneously like accelerating, like speeding up, because you are now more capable of seeing exactly in every single moment what's really going on, matching that frequency more closely, and being able to more consciously be aware of the changes and shifts that you are creating within your consciousness. So use that paradox to your advantage. Slowing down allows you to feel like you're speeding up because you are matching the frequency of the single moment that exists, because there is only one moment that exists. And what you think of as different moments is simply the same moment from different points of view. Make sense? It doesn't have to. Not yet anyway. Just let it sink in. Again, just the fact that this information is being delivered to you will sink into you, and you may start to notice either in your dreams or even in your waking state a little bit more lucidity about your relationship to the concept that you are creating your physical reality, and more awareness of the story, the parable that you're telling yourself about who you actually are, so that you can begin to truly be who you truly are. So just let it sink in. We thank you for allowing us to share this information with you at this time, and in return for this gift, I ask, in what way may we now be of service to you? You may begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.
Hello, good day.
Good day! What would you like to discuss?
So I feel like I have blocks in me that's blocking me from being the best version I can be.
Nope. It may feel like blocks, but it's not blocks. What feels like blocks are definitions you're choosing to hold on to because you believe that they still serve you. So if you can get in touch with why you believe they still serve you, even though they may not, and let them go when you see that it's not logical to hold on to them and it makes no sense to hold on to them because they have nothing to do with you, then when you let them go, you will feel the so-called blocks dissolve. But they're not blocks because you're making choices. These are things you're choosing based on what you believe you need, based on what you believe serves you. So, can you be specific about one particular thing that you feel is a block so that we can get at the root of the definition and the belief that is generating that feeling?
But that's the thing, I don't know.
Sure you do. It's easy to discover. I'll ask it this way. Are you acting on the highest passion in your life that you could be every moment that you can? Yes or no?
Yes.
That can't be true if you feel blocks. Do you understand? The definition of your passion doesn't contain that frequency. So if you're feeling the idea that you're calling blocks, that means there are times when you're not operating on your passion. And I'll ask it this way. If you were, in fact, to be who you truly prefer to be, as fully as you prefer to, what are you afraid might happen?
Wait, what was that?
All right, nice block. I'll ask it again. If you truly allowed yourself, truly just let go and allowed yourself to be who you truly prefer to be, what are you afraid might happen? That will usually reveal the negative definition you're buying into.
Am I not who I choose to be?
If you are feeling blocks, then by definition you're not.
I meant like having blocks, like something from the past, maybe
No. There's no such thing as the past, is there?
I guess no.
You guess not or you know not?
I know. Okay.
And how do you know that?
Because you just told me.
That's how I know it, but how do you know it? Why is there no such thing as the past?
I think because it happens simultaneously as...
Because everything exists in the now. Yes?
Yes.
So what you're calling the past isn't really in the past. It's just another simultaneous present that you're not focused on at the moment in the same way as this particular present. But it's still present. So if it really doesn't exist in the past, it only exists concurrently with you in the present, then you must be making a connection to it from the present. Why would you do that if it doesn't serve you?
I didn't know I was doing it.
Now you do. So how does it serve you to keep doing it?
I'm not going to.
All right. Because You do understand that every change you make makes you a literal different person, yes? Literally a different person. I don't care how you look in the mirror and think you're still the same person. You are a different person with every change you make. Literally, totally, fully a different person. If you're still doing the same thing that the other person was doing a moment ago, it's because you're creating it again in the present. Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
I do.
So, if you understand that you are a different person every moment, doesn't that mean that you're creating a different past for that present person?
It would, yeah.
It would, yes. Therefore, if you're creating a different past every moment, how can something from the past affect you if you don't decide to be affected by it in the present?
That's really good.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you feel a little less blocked?
Yes, it does.
It's started to unlock some things.
True.
All right. Is that helping?
Yes.
Do you feel a little freer?
I do.
So what will you do with that freedom?
I don't know.
What can you do that's an expression of your passion that you're not already doing? Is there something you're hesitating to do for some reason?
No.
What do you do that is an expression of your passion? Name anything besides having this conversation with us.
I actually watch your videos.
What else do you do that has nothing to do with us?
That I'm passionate about?
Yes, that was the question.
I read books.
All right, what else?
That's about it.
You read books. That's it? You never eat food. You never visit friends.
Oh, no, I do, yeah.
Are these things expressions of your passion? No? I think your friends might take exception.
No! I see passion as something you
your
express
definition
yourself.
is limited. Your definition of passion is limited. Does that help?
Yeah,
No?
it does.
All right. Understand that anything that is the thing that contains even just the tiniest bit more attractiveness, curiosity, excitement, anything than any other option is a signal of your passion, even if it's on a small, simple, everyday level. If you just follow that thread by always acting first on whatever contains even just the tiniest bit more attractiveness, curiosity, excitement than any other option, you will be appropriately following the thread of your passion. Passion doesn't mean it has to be with trumpets blaring. It means it's your frequency, it's your higher mind telling you right now, this contains more of this attractiveness, curiosity, excitement, and passion than any other option, even just a little bit more, because right now, this is most you. This is what you need to do first. This is the stepping stone to the next stone. This is your path. When you feel any kind of curiosity, love, attractiveness, excitement in any way, in any degree, that is an actual physical translation of the language of your higher mind speaking to you. Follow it, act on it, don't hesitate. Because it's the physical action that is the answer to your higher mind's communication. If you just sit and think about it, you're not answering your higher mind. You experience yourself as a physical being, therefore you have to speak the language of physical reality when responding to the energy of the higher mind. Energy is its language. That feeling you get in your body is the translation of its language in physical terms. So your response has to be physical action to show the higher mind you heard it and are willing to pay attention to the guidance it's giving you. Is this helping?
Yes, it is.
Why, thank you.
Thank you. I don't know why it takes so long for me to find a partner.
Who says you have to? You are creating an expectation and an assumption that may or may not be relevant. But all this means is you don't understand how reality works. And you are focused on the idea of time instead of timing. Because when you allow reality to work for you, instead of trying to make it work in the way that your physical mind thinks it's supposed to, even though it doesn't have a clue what is actually best for you, but you have let it think that it does, and let the physical mind run your life by focusing you on time and where's that person? Tick tock, I'm running out of time. Why is it taking so long? Because you're waiting for it. That's why. Because waiting is a state unto itself. And the only experience you can have in a state of waiting is waiting. It's not having, it's waiting. Waiting, 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 waiting. So the idea is to trust that passion contains certain automatic functions or tools. And one of those tools is the organizing principle of synchronicity, which means that as you follow your passion, everything that is relevant for you to experience in your life unfolds in perfect timing. And the only way to actually miss an agreement or an appointment that you have made with anyone or anything is to actually spend your time and energy wondering if you're going to miss the appointment. That's the paradox. If you just get on with your life, follow your passion, act on it, and trust that synchronicity is bringing you what you need to let you experience the process that will shape you in the way you need to be shaped in order to better appreciate what it is that will manifest in your life, then it doesn't matter what's going on, because what's going on right now will always be the most important thing, and there is nowhere else more important to be. And nothing else more important to be going on than what's going on right now. So then you're not waiting for anything. You are experiencing everything in the moment as absolutely what it needs to be for you. Even if it's something you don't objectively prefer, there must be a reason for it to be there. And if you use it in a way you do prefer, you will always extract the beneficial effect from that moment. It's only when you think something doesn't belong or shouldn't be there that you actually make it take longer, because you are invalidating what it is that's come to you that actually is what you need. Even though your physical mind says, no, 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 I don't need that. If it's there, yes, you do, because there are no accidents. Everything is in orchestration. So even if it's what you don't prefer, there must be a reason that you do prefer for that to have shown up. If nothing else, it can even be as simple as something you don't prefer shows up to make it clearer to you what you do prefer by contrast. That's using what you don't prefer in a way that you do. And then it can go on its way because you've used up the reason it showed up. But when you deny it validity, you are invalidating a moment in your life, and you have removed a stepping stone, and now you have no way to step on that stone to get to the next one and the next and the next.
That's fantastic.
Does that help?
Yes, very much.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.